Hey guys, it is Dungeon Master Mark. I want to do a real quick updated video, kind of an impromptu show and tell and a product review for you guys. And I know a lot of you guys have been wondering the same thing as I do when you go to conventions. How are you going to travel with all of your Dwarven Forge stuff? Because there are a ton of pieces and it doesn't make very good sense to keep all the buildings together when you travel. Well, luckily, a gentleman started a small company by the name of Hypothetical Heroes, and they invented a travel case for the Dwarven Forge city pieces. Let me go ahead and pop this over here real quick, if I can get my camera set up. So this is a box full of basically one capital set. As you can probably see, let's see if I can tip it up here. So this holds almost one whole capital set. Doesn't hold a couple of the stretch goals, but they are working on an add-on box that'll hold just stretch goals by themselves. So let me go ahead and we'll dig into this so we can see what all's in here, okay? So the first thing you're going to notice, obviously, is it's a wood material, and it's been laser etched, cut out. You basically, it comes in pieces, you glue everything together. So I just put a couple little tabs of super glue and then wood glued everything together and held it all together while it was nice and clamped. And yeah, now everything is nice and sturdy. So I believe this particular box is $30 on their website. So like I said, this is going to hold one capital city, almost everything for your capital city except for some of your smaller little stretch goals. So if you're having Empire, obviously you're going to plan on two of them. If you're like me and you have a little bit over an Empire set, maybe 3 or 4 might be your sweet spot. And like I said, these look like they're going to be pretty much stackable. So even with a really, really large Empire plus a bunch of add-ons, probably 4 of these, you can carry everything on like a small little, one of the little wheelie things into your convention and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and open it up. First thing we're going to have, like I said, the main tray here opens up. So let's go ahead and pull that down here. So the first thing you're going to notice is everything on the side here is actually labeled. So you have, 13 walls, 16 windows, 3 doors, 3 magnetic walls. I still have a couple pieces that I was playing with over there with my daughter, so I haven't loaded quite everything up. But everything obviously is nice and easy to pull out. I think I can actually probably fit one more in here if I really wanted to. But like I said, it gives you guys an idea of the build quality. Like I said, this is wood glued together. And yeah, it's not going anywhere. It's not going to fall apart or anything. I did a little bit of playing around with it. I just carried it up and down the stairs 5 or 6 times, threw it on the couch, threw it on the floor. Now, obviously, you don't want to be too rough with it, but it's fairly sturdy, so I don't think you got a whole lot to worry about there. Next thing we have are going to be the trays where your actual pillars go, or your posts for the corners. Now, most of my double posts are actually in a box upstairs because I am packing up to go to CincyCon this weekend. But I actually kept some of those separate, and each one of the little posts has a little laser etched peg hole. You pop them right in there. So, like I said, I didn't have to do any trimming or any of these. Everything was, right out of the box. I was able to glue it together. They do say you should dry fit everything, but from what I saw, everything was pretty darn sturdy. So you can see the way the pillars just barely fit through the edge there. Most of them are probably sturdy enough where you don't have anything that's going to fall out if you pick that up. And of course, what happens? A couple of things fall out. But most of them didn't, so not bad. Like I said, obviously you're not going to be going to a convention and waving this thing around upside down, probably. Unless you're an idiot, but like I said, very, very nice. As you can see, the way these fit, they're intermingled, so you can get all of your capital city pieces in there. One thing I did want to point out, when I glued mine, I actually also ran a bead of wood glue around the outer lip. And I'm hoping that gives it just a little bit more strength and durability as well. So one thing you may want to consider if you get a box. Now these particular trays, there's 2 of them. This one is just for the Tudor. And there's one for the stone as well. And the good thing is these don't stack on top of the actual pillars themselves. The wooden pieces actually stack on top of each other. So you're not worried about, the wood rubbing off the paint on any top of these or anything like that. Layout is pretty much the same. Obviously the wooden Tudor have a little different amount of those, so the layout's slightly different, as you can probably tell. and basically the same build quality as well. Pretty tight fit. Like I said, I wouldn't want it too much tighter because some of these can be a little snug getting them in. Obviously, after the first 5 or 6 times pulling them in and out, I'm sure it'll ease up a lot. Like I said, those stack up very nicely. The last thing we're going to look at is where the roofs stack in. Now, this does not slide out. These just slide right in. So obviously, you can hold your roofs right on top of there. And I believe I actually have room for one more roof. And of course, I didn't do a very good job packing mine. But yeah, so like I said, you got a little bit more room in there than what I have. Because it should actually be a little tighter. More like this. And then one more roof. So I got a couple more roofs over there, which I probably still need to pack up. But as you can tell, like I said, you'll be able to fit 5 in here all together. If I can get them stacked in there correctly. There we go. But obviously, like I said, you stack those in there nice and snug. They don't have a lot of room to move around. So I don't think you're going to have to worry about anything rubbing paint off or anything like that. And then you have your floor section. So you have all of your stone, all of your wood tutor. This does not come out as well. One thing I do like about this, there's just a little bit of room in here. So what I was thinking about doing was I was thinking about maybe even taking a little piece of paper and just gluing it on the inside of that. Just because I want to make sure that it doesn't rub at all. And then there is a little bit extra room here. You could even put a couple of your stretch goal pieces. Or maybe even a couple of little floor pieces, anything like that, if you want to just keep it from moving around. But overall, obviously very, very, very good fit. Very good build quality. When I did do mine, I did take an extra little bit of wood glue here. Along the bottom and up at the top, which you're probably not going to see there. Oh, let me see if I can twirl it around. And on the other side, I did add just a little bit more wood glue on the bottom there when I basted as well. And let me go ahead and show you guys the bottom real quick. So there is the bottom of the box. You notice these are where the wooden tabs from the top, where they slide in when you glue them down. So it is nice and flush. If you are concerned about where you put it on tables or anything, you can always put some type of felt liner on the very bottom or around the base if you really wanted to. Maybe even some of those little felt corner pieces. But the finish is rather smooth. I'm not sure if I can zoom in, how well it's going to zoom in here because the lighting is kind of bad. Very overcast today. But yeah, as you can probably tell, very smooth finish. At first I was wondering if I might need to sand it or anything, but like I said, as you can probably hear, very, very smooth. If you wanted to, if you're extremely anal retentive, you could probably even do a nice varnish coat, maybe even a little clear coat, add a little bit of dye to it, add a little bit of tint. But yeah, definitely go over to Hypothetical Heroes and check them out. Like I said, a box like this is $30. They also have a box for the sewer set, which I'm going to be reviewing in an upcoming video because I let someone borrow my sewer set and I want to get it back. But that is about it for this video. Like I said, definitely go over to their website. I'm going to leave a link down at the very bottom in the description. That way you guys can check out the link. This particular set is $30. He did let me know, one of the owners, that they are going to be working on an add-on box. So it's not going to fit directly in this, but it'll be just for some of the extra stretch goal pieces. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out. Like I said, this is one capital set. And as you can tell, you can fit everything in a very small space. So instead of having to stack up, 20, 30 houses there on your shelves, this might be a really, really nice alternative, especially if you have a nice little shelving setup. Something like what I'm using. I'm thinking about getting me a couple more just so I can slide them into my shelves and then pretty much, set it and forget it. But definitely, like I said, they do have a special drawer just for caverns, one for dungeons, and one's for sewers. And they're going to be coming out with some more. I did also mention to him about maybe having custom etching, with custom names and stuff put on there. So maybe keep an eye out for that if that's something you're interested in. That is something they do have the capability of doing. But thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you guys make sure you give this video a thumbs up and check out Hypothetical Heroes. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.